We're live in Avon this morning at a three-car crash that officials have deemed fatal. I'll have more on that coming up next.
And international leaders are gathering this morning to vote on a ceasefire resolution, where the United States stands on the matter and what local leaders are doing to put a stop to the war.
Also raising concerns over the lack of higher education funding in Connecticut. We'll tell you what both students and staff want to see happen, plus what some university educators say is the real problem. That's coming up at 8:30.
And Avon Grid's newest employee, Sparky, helping push sustainable energy in our state. More on his daily duties coming up for you at 8:45.
Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And thank you for joining us here for the Fox 61 News at 8:30. I'm Tim Lammers.
And I'm Erica Arias. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. We are starting this morning with breaking news coming out of Avon, where Route 10 is closed because of a deadly car crash.
Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Avon at the scene. Brooke, that's a very busy road. What do we know about what happened?
Yeah, so far we do know from first responders that one person at least has died in this crash. They just told us it was fatal. We don't actually have any information yet on how many people were involved in this, how many people were injured or in these cars at the time. We do know that there are at least 3 cars involved. What looks like a large SUV, maybe a smaller one, and then a sedan as well that you can't really see from where we're standing. It's a bit closer to us. It's got some damage to it as well. We are right near the Foothills Drive area of Route 10. They do have all of this shut down. A lot of detours in place. This is something that is going to take a while to get cleaned up. They have a tarp over one of the vehicles. That typically means that the person, unfortunately, inside that car has passed away due to those injuries from the crash. We are supposed to hear from Avon police here in a few minutes more about what happened. Right now, they are working on the reconstruction of the accident, which is typical in these situations. They are trying to figure out how it came to this point, how these cars ended up crashing this morning. It happened just before 6 o'clock, and we are still again waiting to hear more from officials, which we should in the next few minutes. I did just speak with them a couple of minutes ago. They're trying to gather their bearings and make sure that they have the right information for us. Of course, we'll then get that out to you immediately. But again, this is Route 10. They do have this shut down. So if this is an area that you typically come down to get to work, I would avoid it at all costs. They do have a lot of congestion in this area and a little bit of confusion, it seems, as to which way the detours are going. So if you can avoid it at this point, I would definitely do that. Symphony, let's get a check on that traffic. Do you have any detours for us?
I'll take a deeper look into that and have that for you in the 8:30 hour. Right now, I do have another crash to tell you about this morning. Right now, out in Cromwell, 91 northbound, there's a 2-vehicle wreck at exits 22 and 23, and it is causing quite a backup out there. Right now, taking a look at the capital city this morning, where we are seeing a bit of a backup on 84 this morning, heading into downtown Hartford. Drive times not looking too bad as we see that minor delay on 84 East heading into the Hartford Tunnel. You get there in about 10 minutes. Quick look in Waterbury this morning, things moving smoothly out there. We are seeing a minor delay reported on Route 8 in between Seymour and Shelton this morning. Traffic speeds moving at 40 miles per hour. We'll have your next update and a look at those detours coming up at 8:30.
All right, Symphony, thank you. And weather-wise, we have a beautiful start out there this morning with plenty of sunshine, and the sun will be with us all day long today. And the nice thing about today's forecast is it comes with less wind, so not much of a wind chill factor. Milder weather returning for tomorrow, and then that means our next system, as it comes in Thursday night into Friday, at this point looks more wet than white. It's still pretty cold, though, here at 8:04 this morning. It's 19 in Hartford, 13 in Tolland, or it's 17 in Southington, and still 13 degrees in Bristol. So it is a cold start. 24 in New Haven, 20 degrees in Guilford, and we're at 17 degrees right now in Seymour. So temperatures will be on the way up today, and we have sunshine across the board. We'll get into the mid and upper 30s this afternoon, and with a light wind, it should feel pretty nice. As long as you dress for temperatures, it'll be in the 30s. I'll be back to talk more about that warm-up that we have in store coming up in just a few minutes. Erica and Tim.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. Well, we continue this morning with the war in Gaza. The United Nations is going to vote today on a resolution to demand a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Yeah, that vote is set for 10 o'clock this morning, our time. Now, many Arab nations came together to propose that resolution as Israel is preparing to launch a bigger ground invasion of Rafah, which it called a last bastion of Hamas control. The European Union also warned Israel against invading, saying it would be catastrophic. Now, the United States is certain to veto this resolution. Why? Well, the Biden administration said it's trying to arrange its own longer pause in the fighting and fears that supporting the resolution would interfere with the U.S.'s effort.
And here at home, a pair of votes also happening today involving the war. The Hamden Legislative Council is going to consider a resolution to call for an immediate ceasefire. The town says it condemns anti-Semitic and anti-Palestinian behavior. It also calls on Connecticut lawmakers to act on behalf of the town's interest, noting that they hold the diplomatic power to save human lives. Now, we want to make it clear this resolution holds no power. It's more of a symbolic proclamation. Officials in Windsor approved a similar resolution just a few weeks ago. And Hamden's town council meeting is going to vote on the ceasefire resolution at 7 o'clock. The rally is going to take place ahead of tonight's vote outside of City Hall at 6 o'clock.
Now, in Bridgeport, a little twist here. The city council is going to take up a vote tonight to revoke a previous resolution that supported a ceasefire. This new resolution states that the council acted outside of its scope when it took up that first vote at the beginning of the year. It states that council members do recognize the tragedies in the Middle East, but that their role is to address matters strictly related to the city. Well, right now, Manchester police are asking for the public for help identifying a person who apparently robbed 2 gas stations. Officials say they responded to the food bag gas station on Center Street and then the Exxon gas station on Adams Street. This is in a 30-minute stretch yesterday morning. They said the robber only got away with $100 from one of the gas stations, but both clerks who were robbed said they believe he had a gun, although it was never displayed. Now, here's the photos that police shared with us. They said the robber left the gas stations in a dark-colored car. If you have any information who it is, please call the Manchester police.
Well, New London police are asking for help in identifying a woman they believe was involved in 2 separate hit-and-run crashes. Officers put this photo on their Facebook page. The crashes happened 3 minutes apart last Tuesday. The first one on Broad Street and then on Lincoln Avenue. The woman was believed to be driving a red Mitsubishi. Anyone with information is asked to please call New London Police.
Well, today, the Michelle Troconis trial will pick back up inside a courthouse in Stamford. Troconis has been charged with the conspiracy to commit murder and the disappearance and presumed death of Jennifer Dulos. The jury is focusing on her 3rd interview with police. That's scheduled for today. Once testimony picks back up right around 10 o'clock, you can watch it live on Fox 61 Plus, which is available on your smartphone, computer, and connected TV. New this morning, housing conditions are becoming a top priority in Hartford.
Mayor Ruben Arulampalame is focusing on housing units that tenants say are being neglected by their landlords. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is in the studio now with more on how the mayor plans to address these housing conditions. Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. This is an issue we cover on a regular basis. Now, just last week, we were at a rally where renters talked about the issues they face, all in an effort to get the mayor's attention. Well, today, Mayor Arulampalame will announce new initiatives aimed at making sure landlords are held accountable for their properties to help improve living conditions for people here in the city. The initiatives will also make sure property owners are in compliance with Hartford's housing code. The goal is to ensure properties that are frequently in violation of housing code regulations stay in compliance with those rules. You may recall one of the properties that has had issues in the last few months. It's on Wethersfield Avenue. Our Fox 61 cameras went inside the building as tenants described conditions as deplorable, saying sometimes they lose water for days with no answers from the property managers.
We also have homeless people sleeping in our stairs, shooting up, doing illegal activities here because the doors don't lock, the back doors don't lock. And that went for over a year and a half too. What are we supposed to do, fix them ourselves? Then why are we paying rent for? To live like animals?
Tenants also say there are roaches and rats in the building, as well as garbage throughout the property. There are other buildings in the city where tenants describe similar conditions. That's why city officials are trying to catch the attention of landlords to stop the problem in its tracks. The mayor will speak at 10 o'clock this morning. Now, this is just the first of a series of announcements he has regarding efforts to address housing quality and conditions for tenants right here in the city. Tim and Erica, we'll send things back over to you.
All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. Meanwhile, lawmakers on the Housing Committee are going to discuss measures aimed at improving the life of renters and property owners today. One of the bills addresses evictions without a stated reason. Another bill calls for creating a Housing Authority Resident Quality of Life Improvement Grant program.
Today, our state will welcome First Lady Jill Biden as she touches down at Tweed Airport in New Haven. She's expected to make a stop in Guilford for a political finance event to benefit the Biden Victory Fund. And then tomorrow, the First Lady will head up to Cambridge, Massachusetts as part of the White House initiative on women's health research.
Well, right now, nearly the entire Golden State is under a flood alert. More on the dangerous rainfall slamming the West Coast. That's next.
Plus, we're continuing to raise awareness on heart disease this month. We'll tell you what men should do to protect their hearts. That's coming up at 8:30.
And we're diving into day 2 of the winter bucket list with Keith and Rachel. They're taking us to Southwest Connecticut for an adventure at the Maritime Aquarium.
And here's a live look from the Hartford City camera. Just some nice wispy clouds, a cold but clear and sunny morning. Make it a great one. We'll be right back.
8:13, welcome back. Indianapolis police are investigating a deadly shooting that killed one person and injured multiple others at a Waffle House. Police say a fight between two different groups escalated to a shooting at about 12:30 yesterday morning. One woman was killed and 5 other people were hurt. Police are still trying to figure out who fired the shots. They are calling the shooting an unnecessary act of violence.
The University of Colorado student charged in a deadly dorm room shooting is due to face a judge today. 25-year-old Nicholas Jordan is accused of murdering Samuel Knopp and Celie Rain Montgomery inside a dorm room at the University of Colorado's Colorado Springs campus last Friday. Knopp was a registered student at the university. The investigation is still going on.
The man accused of helping murder rapper Tupac Shakur is going to return to the courtroom today. Police say former LA gang leader Dwayne Keefe D. Davis handed the shooter the gun on the night that Shakur was fatally shot. That was back in 1996 in Las Vegas. Today, prosecutors are going to address if Davis legally paid the $750,000 bail required for him to be on house arrest. Davis pleaded not guilty. If convicted, he faces life in prison.
Tomorrow, handwritten lyrics to the Eagles songs will become the center of an unusual criminal trial. 3 men are accused of trying to sell over 80 pages of draft lyrics for Hotel California and other Eagles hits without the right to do so. The accused claim that they legally acquired the pages via a writer who had worked with the Eagles. However, the band claims those pages were stolen and that the 3 men were aware of this. The accused have pleaded not guilty.
President Joe Biden says that he's considering additional sanctions against Russia over the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Now, Russian officials say Navalny died suddenly on Friday after allegedly feeling unwell. Biden blames Russian President Vladimir Putin for Navalny's death. His wife, Yulia Navalny, vowed to continue her husband's work. Hundreds of Russians have been arrested for honoring him.
Former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley does face an uphill battle against former President Donald Trump if she wants to win the Republican presidential nomination. A new Emerson College polling survey of South Carolina voters had Trump with a 23 percentage point lead over Haley, who used to be that state's governor. It shows he has 58% to Haley's 31%, with 7% undecided. State election officials said so far twice as many people have voted early in this primary than in the Democratic one that happened earlier this month.
Well, it has been a busy stretch of active weather for the Golden State, and it's about to get even busier, unfortunately. This latest storm is bringing several rounds of rain and mountain snow, along with damaging wind gusts through Wednesday. Much of the state is still saturated from the intense rainfall earlier this month. Right now, more than 37 million people are under flood alerts.
Now, the Fox 61 Weather Watch with meteorologist Ryan Breton.
And El Nino really driving a very active southern stream of the jet stream, bringing those storms into California. A lot of rain recently in Florida, too. And for us, it's meant a pretty warm winter. Just looking at this month so far, we've only had 4 days with temperatures below average. They'll make it 5. And you put all the days together, we're running nearly 6 degrees above average so far this month. As far as meteorological winter, December, January, and February, right now it's ranking 3rd warmest in the Hartford area and the wettest. A lot of the rain that we had in December and January going a long way in that regard. Here are the numbers this morning. It's certainly not one of the warmer mornings that we've had recently. It's 17 in Danbury, 16 in Windham, 19 in Hartford, and 24 degrees in New Haven. Sunshine across the board, but it is a little bit colder than this time yesterday. So be aware, yesterday morning maybe you didn't think it was so bad. This morning it's a little bit colder, but it is less windy. Most spots just a light wind. Strongest wind right now, relatively speaking, at 10 miles per hour in New Haven. High pressure in place. That brings us to sunshine today. And with it overhead also means the wind should be fairly calm most of the time, only coming up to 5, maybe 10 miles per hour at worst today. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s. So a chilly day, but with a lot of sunshine, I think it'll feel pretty nice this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear and not quite as cold as last night. We'll drop into the teens away from the shoreline, staying in the 20s on the shore. And then for tomorrow, a little bit milder. Temperatures get to about or maybe a bit over 40 degrees tomorrow, with a southeast wind coming in between 5 and 10 miles per hour and a bit more cloud cover during the day, too. That's as the wind starts to come in out of the southeast, a little bit of a warmer wind direction for us. And that mild air is in place ahead of the next storm, which approaches for Thursday night into Friday. Now, calling this a storm, kind of a name only type thing here. It's not going to be that big of a storm, that's for sure, as it comes in here. But it may be just cold enough for a little bit of wet snow at the start of this system, Thursday evening into Thursday night. But I think that by Friday morning, it's mostly or all rain, and overall it's just a wet morning commute that we're looking at as all of this comes through on Friday. So here's a look at your next 7 days. For today, it is sunny and calm, high of 38. Tonight, we drop down into the teens, but not quite as cold as last night. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a little bit milder. We get to 42. Thursday, we're up to 45 with increasing clouds. Chance for some showers Thursday evening and Thursday night that could be in the form of a little bit of wet snow or a mix. But I think Friday, it's mainly rain, and you can see why with temperatures that get up into the 40s. Behind that system, it's cooler for Saturday, but it doesn't last long. Looks like by Monday, we may be up into the 50s. And right now, Tim, as we head into the middle of next week, looks quite warm. We should have a few days in the 50s as it looks now. We'll send it back to you.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go take Chuckles and get him out of Manchester police custody because it looks like maybe spring is back, right? All right, Ryan, thank you. Coming up, tourists from around the globe are being turned away at the Eiffel Tower. I'll tell you why visitors are facing some challenges there at that Parisian landmark. Also, TikTok is facing big-time scrutiny again, this time from the European Union. We'll tell you why the company's in the hot seat again. That's at 8:30. And here's a quick check on the roads. I-84 westbound in Hartford is looking smooth. The big traffic problem at this point still Route 10 in Avon because of a deadly crash. Brooke Griffin will have more on that coming up later on. All right, it's 8:24. Let's take a look at news from around the world this morning, and we're starting with the war in Ukraine. That country is expected to get some military aid from our northern neighbor, Canada. The country is planning to dispatch more than 800 drones to Ukraine starting as early as this spring. Canada's National Defense said the drones will help with surveillance, intelligence gathering, and moving weapons. This is all part of Canada's $500 million military plan to help Ukraine in its war with Russia, which is nearing the 2-year mark since Russia first invaded. Well, this is a stunning story. A Haitian judge who's investigating the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse has indicted several people, and one of them is Moïse's widow. The 122-page report indicted dozens of suspects, including widower Martine Moise, as well as Haiti's ex-prime minister and the former national police chief. The indictments are expected to further destabilize Haiti as it continues to struggle with violent protests. A lot of people are demanding the resignation of current Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Well, people who are expecting to visit the Eiffel Tower will likely be met with disruptions today. This comes after the famous Parisian monument was closed yesterday because of an ongoing strike. Union leaders are protesting what they're calling poor financial management. Yesterday's closure was the second time in 2 months that visits to the tower were canceled because of a strike. This comes as visitor numbers are expected to soar ahead of the Paris Summer Olympics. And speaking of, Parisians aren't the only ones creating waves before the games. Tahitian locals say they want more to be done to protect their islands ahead of the Olympics surf competition this summer. That's creating some unprecedented challenges for the French Polynesian island. Environmentalists say the proposed scale of the Olympic site would disrupt the wildlife and lands. In response, Olympic officials have scaled back on construction and housing plans. All right, still to come on Connecticut's news station, college students and teachers are teaming up to try to get more funding for higher education in our state. We'll have details on their efforts next. And I'm headed down to Studio 61 this morning to learn more about what men should do to be mindful of their heart health.